All right, what's going on, everybody? It's been a few days since the big card, the live. I've been really busy the last few days. I wanted to get this out of the way, but the day after the fight, there was a ton of uploads of videos and interviews and stuff like that, and I really had to get through them, especially for this fight here, specifically listening to post-fight interviews and interviews with the camps, Joseph Parker, and as well as Martin Bakole. And it took a lot of time to watch everything. Plus I've been really busy with work and stuff like that, stuff going on outside of boxing. But I finally had some time to do this video, and I wanted to do this video first because there's so much that needs to be said with this fight here and moving forward. As a boxing content creator, some may say an analyst and stuff because of the level of breakdowns that I do, I made a huge mistake even considering Martin Bakole as a winner in this fight under the conditions that I stated in my own breakdown video. Joseph Parker has been criminally underrated, in his last few fights, especially by me, but in this fight here, and Andy Lee as his coach. One thing about Andy Lee that we have to look at, it's not all about Parker's ability, but it's all about strategically going into the fight, knowing exactly how you're going to win. And I know this was a last minute change here. But part of the reason Parker and his team agreed to take this fight at the last minute, this level, I mean, they should get credit for agreeing to take this fight, even though Martin Bakole was overweight, out of shape, coming straight off a flight, not getting any rest. You got to give Parker and his team credit for taking this fight within 2 days. All right. And Parker getting the knockout in 2 rounds was probably the most shocking thing in the whole card, just because of the amount of time it took him to do it. So I have to give credit to Joseph Parker beating Wilder, beating Zhilei Zhang, and now beating Martin Bakole, Andy Lee, and his team, and they've done a phenomenal job, over the last couple of years in turning his career around. If you look at everybody that is in his class and where they're at right now, currently, Joseph Parker is at the top, as far as that class, outside of Alexander Usyk, who wasn't, I don't really count him because he wasn't a career heavyweight. But when you look at Anthony Joshua, when you look at Dillian White, when you look at Deontay Wilder, guys that were champs or top fighters at that time, Joseph Parker is at the top right now, or the closest to getting a title shot. He was supposed to get a title shot against Danny Dubois. So much credit to him. Now let's get on to Martin Bakole, because I have so much to say about him. And, I just couldn't wait to really listen to his interviews because I wanted to know more. I really wanted to know what was going through his mind agreeing to this fight. And he's a very, him and Joseph Parker, ironic that they fought each other, but these two are like the friendliest guys, in the heavyweight division right now. You know what I mean? Extremely humble guys, lovable guys. It's hard to really root against either one of them. Martin Bakole did an interview, and there's a lot of things that came up with his coach, Billy Nelson, and stuff like that on why, everybody's asking why. Why did they take this fight? They should have never agreed to take this fight. This is all, of course, this is after the outcome of this fight. You got to give credit to Parker, because at the end of the day, I know Bakole was out of shape and stuff, but Bakole had won the fight. Bakole would have got all the credit in the world. No one would have been asking, why did he take this fight in the last minute? This guy was guaranteed to get a title shot. He was putting himself in position to fight Efe Ajagba, who he's still facing in May, but he has not started camp yet for that fight. he was already en route to get a title position. In an interview that Martin Bakole did after the fight, he said, the reason why I took this fight is because Turkey had previously offered me a fight against Zhilei Zhang, and he didn't take it. It was just not the right time for him to take that fight. And he really didn't want to turn him down again. All right, that was the first reason. The second reason was because he really wanted the money. He really wanted the money. So he knew he was out of shape. He hadn't been training. He knew it was a 2 days notice. Under all of these conditions that went against him, he needed the money. And two, he did not want to tell Al Sheikh, His Excellency, that he didn't want to take the fight. Now, you can take it one or two ways. You could take it as, he had to do what he had to do, or felt that he needed to do what he had to do. It is what it is. He is a fighter at the end of the day. Part of living a fighter's life is to be ready. So you don't have to get ready, staying ready. He wasn't, but he agreed to take the fight. He didn't want to risk messing up the relationship with His Excellency. And more importantly, he wanted the money. I mean, the man is being honest. He wanted the money. He got, $500,000 just to take this last minute. He's a grown man. He's in his 30s. It's part of the game. I think people are overthinking the situation. I think people that's blaming his coach is overthinking the situation. It's easy for us to say he should have never been in there when the guy wanted the money. I don't know what his personal life is like. I'm sure he has plenty of responsibilities. I mean, Jared Anderson, the guy that he destroyed, was saying himself, there's responsibilities that he has to have to take care of everybody else is draining. And this guy may be in a situation, maybe not, who knows? I don't know what he does outside of boxing. All I know is that man made the decision to go into that fight. And if he had won that fight, he would have he was going to get a title shot anyway, eventually. But that would have been his greatest win if he were to win that fight. And he went for it. I can't get mad at the guy for wanting to do it. We can always point fingers at who's responsible. But again, if he had won that fight, because this is heavyweight boxing, and it's not like he didn't land some big shots against Joseph, all right, in that short period of time. If he had won that fight, he would have got all the credit in the world for winning that fight. You know what I mean? And he took a shot at it. It didn't work out for him. He's still going to have his fight against Efe Ajagba. I hope that if he is to win that fight and maybe win another fight in the near future, a good fight, that he could still put himself in position to fight for a title soon. But at the end of the day, I think we got to stop looking at it like, this was a big mistake. It wasn't a mistake. The man wanted to do it. He wanted to do it. I think the only mistake that Martin Bakole needs to be held accountable for was just not being in physical shape. Okay? That's it. That's it. And listen, it's part of the game. People gain weight in between fights. I mean, who knew that he was going to fight a top elite heavyweight in 2 days' notice who's been in camp for over a couple months? You know what I mean? He was at a huge disadvantage for this fight. But Parker should get credit for the win. And just like Martin Bakole would have been getting credit if he were to win. It wasn't like it's impossible to win this fight. He got dominated. He got hit with a shot that landed in one of those areas where it doesn't matter how durable you are. You get hit with a tipple shot at that angle. It doesn't matter how durable you are, whether you're in shape or not. Those are the shots that breaks your whole equilibrium and drop you. Everything just goes numb. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, um, I don't think there's really much to say. When it comes to Martin Bakole, like I said in the breakdown, anything over 285 is just extra weight that's gonna go to his stomach. Okay. Um, I think he should be around anywhere between 275 to 285. I don't think he should go back down to the weight he was at 250 because the extra size is going to make him more durable. And he already has fast hands. So I think being at 275 is good. And I think nowhere above 285 is good. When he came in at 299 against Colin Tackham, you can tell that the extra weight was on his stomach. I liked how he looked against Todioka. I liked how he looked against Jared Anderson. And I think that's where he needs. That's his sweet spot. Um, I think the one thing I'm concerned about moving forward is, does this knockout loss do any damage to him? Does he become less durable? Does his punch resistance drop after this loss? Because once Joe Joyce got his chin cracked by Zhilei Zhang, his punch resistance dropped dramatically. You know, so this could be the beginning of the turnaround. And this is the one thing that could cost him the rest of his career, losing this fight. Because is he ever going to be the same? He's lost before, but not like this. You know what I mean? So anyway, I want to look at, I just want to, I wanted to give you my thoughts on the whole situation. I think we got to stop pointing fingers and stuff. Out of all of the last minute replacement fighters that we had in recent years, this was probably the most exciting replacement opponent that I can remember. You know, I think people were even more excited about this than Tim Tszyu fighting Sebastian Fundora over Keith Thurman. You know, many people didn't give Fundora much of a chance in that fight. But a lot of people gave Martin Bakole a huge shot because people already consider him to be one of the big boogeymans in this division. You know, but like I said, he's gonna fight F.A. Ajaba. I don't think F.A. is elite. I think he's a solid fighter, but he's pretty one-dimensional. But like I said in the video that I did talking about this fight, F.A. Ajaba has one thing and one thing only: power. And if Martin thinks that he can just walk through his punches and tanking them, he will be upset that night in the fight if he thinks he can just walk through F.A. without respecting his punching power. All right, but I have him winning that fight. All right, so again, congratulations to Joseph Parker again. It's starting to look like he will not be facing. The rumor is going around that Triple D, Daniel Dubois, is going to be going straight into an Usyk rematch. If that's the case, I would love to see Joseph Parker fight Adji Kabayel. All right, I think this is clearly like a tournament thing. And Kabayel and Parker has been coming outside of the champions. They have won some of the best. They've had the best performances, in my opinion, those two. Okay? So I think it should be them if Daniel Dubois is to fight Usyk in a rematch. All right? If not, I don't know. I really don't know what else Usyk is going to do. But I would like to see Kabayel fight for a title or at least fight Joseph Parker, one of the top dogs. All right? Anyway, that's my breakdown. Please subscribe, smash the like button if you like it. Be looking forward to your comments on this topic. All right, I'll see you guys soon.